right behind you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. High Commissioner. My name is Engedu. I represent the Ethiopian Satellite Television and Radio based in Washington, D.C., London, and Amsterdam. It's formed by exiled journalists. For the obvious reasons, we can't work from there. Mr. High Commissioner, you visited Ethiopia in May after a deadly protest in which, by the government's own admission, 669 people were killed. And among other things, you demanded an independent investigation into the killings and also for the perpetrators to be brought to justice. And your staff had been denied access from your statement in June. And none of your demands have been met by the government. And in fact, in Ethiopia, the human rights situation has worsened since you visited that country. Recent reports show that there has been an ethnic clashes going on in the eastern part, in which the government is allegedly armed both sides, the Somalis and the Oromos. And there is obviously a human rights crisis in Ethiopia, while the international community is looking the other way. What is your office going to do amid all this crisis, and we fear for that country? Thank you very much, sir.
Very good. So do you want me to respond right away?
Please.
Okay. When I visited Ethiopia, I made it clear that I wanted to sit down and speak to one of the leaders of the movement which created a sense of crisis in Ethiopia, but the crisis goes back and has the antecedents that you are very well aware of. And I was driven to a remand center where I spent 40 minutes with one of the principal leaders of the opposition. And let's say the opposition which falls outside of the coalition. And we had a long talk. And in my subsequent discussions with the leadership of the country, yes, absolutely, you're right. I asked for access for my people to Oromo and Amhara. And we were not given that access. I intend to go back in January, where I hope they will give me personally, plus my team, access to those areas. And we need to, there are signs that there could be openings in the country. I think there is enough of awareness that over the last 2 years, the country could not maintain itself along the current sort of trajectory, and that unless there was an opening up of the system and the ability for people to exercise their civil and political rights more openly, the country was imperiled. I was quite encouraged by a discussion between the opposition outside the coalition and a member of the ruling party, where it was so raw, it was so heated. I mean, I had never seen anything like it. I mean, it was genuinely passionate arguments against being used against one another. So my hope is that this is a country that we can nudge in that direction, notwithstanding the problems that it really faces, and I'm very aware of it. But I will form a more conclusive opinion and picture after my trip in January, and then we'll see. Thank you.
Thanks.